Well, we're trying this again. Good afternoon, YTPC. And Larry here, Toymaker Larry here, doing a video here after failing once or earlier today. I came out here with the camera, set it up, started doing a video, and about 5 minutes into it, it went dead. I forgot to check the battery before I did the video. What a moron. Boy, oh boy. As you can tell, I cleaned myself up a little bit, folks. It's such a nice day out today. It's in the 50s. Starting to cool down a little bit now, though, but still it's not bad. I gave myself a little bit of a Mohican. I got tired of it, so I had to trim it. And actually, I feel a few pounds lighter, maybe. I don't know. So I'm smoking my Shire, Cobbett Shire here. I bought a while back from Rista Cobb. Probably like maybe a couple years ago. I already smoked flake in it, so I'm smoking Old Dark Fired by McBaron in it, which I can only smoke in a cob because briar pipes, for some reason, do not smoke as well with the flake to me. So I smoke them in a. I can't smoke without getting some kind of ash or something on myself. You know, it's like a kid when you take him out to the restaurant. You need to put a bib on him or he'll get food all over him. I'm like that with the tobacco. I don't know how many shirts, how many pants I burned up, put holes in because of ash from pipe tobacco. So, not too bright, not too bright. So the main reason why I'm doing this video is there's some confusion on my contest. So I'm going to lay out the rules again, so everybody will understand. They need to subscribe to my channel, number one. Number two, they need to leave a comment. Forget the video. They need to leave a comment on what was their first pipe they smoked and tobacco. You must leave that comment on my last video or this video here. My last video I did before this one, announcing the contest, starting Friday, and it will go to April 5th. At 6 o'clock, it will close. At that point, I will make the drawing and do a video, and I will notify whoever wins, and they will have to, or I should say, I will announce that they are the winner, whoever they are, and they will have to email me at toymakerlarry1955@gmail.com. toymakerlarry1955, that's the year I was born, at gmail.com, with their name and address so I can send them the package. And I can't make it any simpler than that. You must leave a comment. And also, I'm going to check. You have to have a pipe channel. You must need some kind of a pipe video you've done, or pipe-related videos on your channel, or else you're not going to be eligible for the contest. So it's only for pipe smokers only, not for somebody that just wants to win the pipe so they can turn around and put it on eBay and sell it. Because there's a lot of people out there that are not too right upstairs as far as I'm concerned. You got to watch some people here on YouTube, and I've had things happen to me in the past, and I'll tell you a little story what I had happened to me once. A character, he knows who he is. He's out from probably Chicago. He found out a local pizza joint in town, and somehow he got a hold of my old phone number, which I had years ago, a landline number. And since that point, I had gotten cell phones in the past, and I got rid of my landline phone number and a phone hookup. So they found the number, and they called in a pizza and an order of wings from me. They thought it was a joke. And the pizza place delivered them to my house, and I was in laying down taking a nap. And I got up, and somebody stopping out front. Well, anyway, I got up and I answered the door, and he says, I says, hell no, I didn't order a pizza. I'm in taking a nap. Well, you ordered from this phone number. I says, somebody got my old phone number. They're pulling a prank. There was a guy named Joey P. from out by Chicago. He knows who he is. And I had informed the local police department and to get on it because I didn't want any more problems from this character. So you got to watch people out there. You never know what somebody's going to do something. Or they're going to try to, get something that they're really not entitled to because they're making up a story or something, So anyway, leave a comment of first pipe and first tobacco on my last video or this video, the starting of the contest, till the 5th of April at 6 o'clock. And I'll put all the names in a hat or a jar, and I will make the draw on that night after 6 o'clock and then do a video. And then that person I'll announce the winner, and then they can contact me and get a package. So get the Savinelli 673 pipe that matches smoke. So yes, so I had to come out. It was a nice day, and it's the first time in probably over 2 years I went over and I bought myself a bottle of Bud Light. I couldn't take it no more. A guy just texted me and told me outside of town, I know him, he's another pipe smoker, but he's not really on YouTube doing videos. And he had me jealous. He's having a beer. So, Rick, I'm having a beer too on you. I think this was $1. Yeah, between $1 and $2 for this bottle of Bud Light. But it's going to taste good because I haven't had one in a long time. I'm not a guy to get involved in alcohol too much because I lost my father when he was 47 years old and I was only 12 because the alcohol killed him. And I learned a lesson that alcohol was not going to kill me. It might be cancer, it might be a heart attack, it might be a stroke or something else, but it's not going to be alcohol. So this is the first beer I've had in almost over 2 years, I'd say. Not bad. It's not bad for a cheap beer. I was looking at the Heineken cans over there, but I said to myself, nah, I'll stick with the Bud Light. I'm probably not going to drink all this. It'll probably get me tipsy, so I better not drink it all. So while I'm doing this video, I'm going to tell you a little story. And I got a few stories to tell you, but I'll tell you this one. It's not a real long one. There was a guy I grew up in school. He was kind of like slow. I wasn't too fast myself, but they called him Alan. Alan was his name. They called him Big Red, nickname. He was a good-sized kid. He had red hair, and when he got upset or something happened, he used to get beat red. And he had 3 sisters, and they used to make his life miserable. They used to call him names, and I kind of felt sorry for the guy. And we went to church together. He was in youth fellowship, and the sisters were too. And geez, they used to ridicule this guy. And well, anyway, back to the story. That's just to tell you a little bit about what I got to know him was during school. This is back in the 70s. So years that went by, he got a job down to the Catskill School, the next town over. He was a custodian in the high school. And he was also a member of the fire department. He was a member of the Catskill Fire Department. Then there's a little area outside of Catskill they call Leeds, and he became a member of the Leeds Fire Department. And Leeds Fire Department sets up outside of Catskill on a hill. And directly across the street from the restaurant, the firehouse is a restaurant. It was called Koch's. It's a new owner, new name now. This happened back in the early, late 90s, early 2000s, I think. They were doing away with all these phone booths in New York. You know, phone booths used to be a big thing. And then eventually New York started doing away with the phone booths. Well, this guy in front of the Koch's restaurant had one of the last phone booths in Greene County. And he didn't want to get rid of it, so they let him keep it. He had a thing about phone booths, this guy. He was also a truck driver. And, well, the firehouse was up on a hill, and you had to turn right and go up this hill. So they had a fire meeting one night, and Alan drove up there. He had a gray truck. I think it was a Ford. Well, what happened was, during the meeting, the truck jumped out of gear. And the truck rolled down a hill, and it went across the street by the Koch's restaurant, and it wiped out the phone booth. Destroyed it totally, wiped it right out. Last phone booth in Greene County. I forget the guy's name, but he came hauling up the hill, walked in the fire truck. Whose goddamn great truck is that out there? Everybody was quiet, and Alan got beat red in the face. You just wiped out my goddamn phone booth, the last one in Greene County down there. I wanted to keep that for years, until I got rid of the place. He's carrying on, he's going off the cuff. Unbelievable. I think Alan will remember that the rest of his life. And that was quite a hill. So once it got going, you can understand why it wiped out that phone booth. Luckily, the phone booth was there, because if it wasn't, the truck would probably ran into the front end of the restaurant. So he can thank God for that. He was complaining about a phone booth, but it could have done more damage to this crummy phone booth, as far as I'm concerned. But and you know, it's another amazing thing is the fact that it's a pretty busy highway, a yellow line, and no cars were coming at the time. So imagine that. It's hard to believe that nothing was coming, because then it would have been a serious problem. So, but I have another story to tell you in the future once I get it down a little better on because I can't tell stories like Matches 860, that's for sure. But I got to get it a little together, and it has to do with a runaway truck. Another runaway truck down the other end of town here where I live. And this one actually will be a much funnier one. But I had to throw this one in here to get started. And of course, I'll tell you a little story about 1994 Woodstock Music Festival in the area, which I understand they're going to have it in Watkins Glen in August. I forget the dates, which is a long ways from here. The last one was within about 15 miles from where I live. And this one's going to be, probably what? I think Watkins Glen is probably a good 80 or so miles from here. 75, 80 miles or more, I think. I'm not good at miles, but I'm just taking a guess. So, I don't think it's going to be as good as the last one or the one before that, but we'll see. So, anyway, I got to tell you, it's really cooling out down here. The sun is beginning, when the sun was out here, it was really nice. I bet you the temperature has probably dropped a good 6 or 7 degrees since the sun hasn't been out, because it's actually cooling off now. going back down in the 30s tonight. 40s tomorrow here. I think Wednesday or Thursday it's supposed to get up to in the 50s. And then I heard a report about over the weekend of it getting anywhere from 65 to 70. Now I'll take that. I don't know about you. That is great weather for this time of year, March. But you know, I'm not getting too excited because you can always get a late snowstorm. You never know. And I'm sure Matches could tell you that. But I don't think we really had a bad winter when you look at it. I mean, we may have had a couple storms, 4 or 5, 6 inches or whatever. But we sure as hell didn't have no foot snowstorms or anything like that. So I know the river, I'm on the Hudson River, and I'm in a weird spot here. There's an island out here. They call it Middle Ground Flats. And there's a lot of these islands as you go up and down the Hudson River. Down by Catskill, I think there's a Rogers Island. And up by Cooksaki, there's another one. Here and there, there's these islands. And the main channels are on the east side of the islands, all the way up. So I'm not on the channel side of the river. I'm on the opposite side. The barges, there's a port up here, the other end of town, where barges leave off oil for Ashford. And to do roads and bridges. And they can go up the other side, but they can't come down. It's not deep enough. But this here froze this past winter for probably a good 3 weeks, I say, or so. And then it started opening up. So now when that doesn't freeze at all out here, we really have had a mild winter as far as I'm concerned. I lived here since 1969, so, and I can remember many winters where it didn't freeze over, and that's a mild winter. I also remember winters that the barges got stuck out here too, by the lighthouse. We had a lighthouse out here, and barges used to get stuck, but not this winter. I think that was about 4 winters ago. We had a real bad cold winter, and ice was about 10 inches to a foot thick in spots out there. So anyway, I'm going to finish up my beer. And now that I gave you a little history of the Hudson River and the runaway truck, I'm going to finish up my dark fire. Like I say, I didn't like this tobacco in the beginning. I really didn't. But then once I started trying it in my cob, I seem to like it a little more. So sometimes barleys don't agree with me. I got H&H barley too. Got a tin of that because I got it because Matches did a review on it one day. Yeah, I'm definitely getting a little chillier out here. I'm going to end this video and head on in because it's getting chilly. So anyway, follow the progress of the contest. And I hope somebody wins that Matches 860 Savinelli. And maybe later on, in another month and a half, maybe I'll have another contest. You never know. It might not be as good. Might be some tobacco. We'll see what it's going to be. Anyway, you'll have a great week coming up. And I hope the weather is good where you are. I'm going to be out. I may do a video during the week. I got a few people I want to bring up. I'm getting a little list here together. Yeah, and I may mention a few names. And but that's it for this video. So you have a great week coming up. And hope it's nice where you are.